हरिः कर्ता।
So now let's look into the more fun plot, that is 3D voxel or volumetric plot. Volumetric plot. In 3D computer graphics, a voxel represents a value on a regular grid in three-dimensional space. We can say a voxel in a 3D equivalent of a pixel that is used in 2D. So a pixel in a square inside of a 2D image with a position in a 2D grid and a single color value, whereas a voxel is a cube inside of a 3D model with a position inside a 3D grid and a single color value. So to represent voxels with matplotlib, so we have to follow certain steps. So the first thing is set the figure size and adjust the padding between and around the subplots, and create a random choice data points between 0 and 1 and create a new figure or activate an existing figure. And the next step, the most important thing, is get the current axis, creating one if necessary, but with a projection 3D, with projection 3D, and plot a set of filled voxels using voxels method or function. Then finally we have to show that method. So these are all steps by and large following uh, for the all 3D plots that we have drawn it, but still I just want to tell you specifically one more time for this 3D 3D voxel or 3D voxel or volumetric plot. So let's draw our first ever 3D voxel or volumetric plot. 3D voxel or volumetric plot. So as usual, we'll take the same package. It's PLT. It's not required to import. It's not required to mention again. Yeah, but still that's okay. So now let's prepare some coordinates. Let's prepare some coordinates. So x comma y comma z is equals to np dot linspace of a tuple of 8 comma 8 comma 8. That's all remains same for all. Okay, so then let's draw cuboids in the top left and bottom right corners. So now let us draw cuboids in the top left and bottom right corners. So cube 1 is equal to x less than 3 and logic, and y less than 3 and z less than 3. That's our cube 1. And cube 2 is equals to x greater than equals to 5 and y greater than equals to 5 and z greater than or equals to 5. So that's what the cube 1 and cube 2. So now let's combine the objects into a single Boolean array. So for that I'll say voxel array is equal to cube 1. Obviously to combine we'll use a vertical bar, and cube 2. That's it, cube 1 to cube 2. So now all done, it's all set. Now it's time to plot. Okay, do you want to see that? So np dot linspace of sorry, that's my mistake, indices. Okay, so now let me print x. Yep, this is what. So if you want to see what is x dot ndim, it's a 3 dimensions that you can clearly see. Okay, 1 2 3. So it has a 3 dimensions, and x dot shape you want, and this is what the shape is, 8 8 8. Okay, 8 rows, sorry, 8 rows, 8 rows, 8 columns, and as and 8 matrices, 8 matrices, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So that's the reason 8 matrices, 8 rows, and 8 columns, and so total dimension is 3. That's the reason you got the 3 dimensions, and total is the shape. So if you want to find out x size, and it's 512, that's the size of it. That's okay. So now y, it's similar, so z is also similar. So what I'm gonna see is voxel array, and this is what the voxel array. Okay, so let me give it here. Obviously this is also 3 dimensions, and this is also of course 8 8 8. That's what, because that's a combination, and then yeah, it's 512. Okay, that's what is our data. So it's all ready. Now it's time to plot. So it's time to plot 3D voxel. Okay, so fig comma ax is equals to plt dot subplots. So as usual I'll use subplot underscore keyword, and projection is equal to 3d. That's what is our projection, and cannot sign. Okay, what's that? Cannot sign literal year. What's wrong in it? What's wrong in it? Subplot underscore kw, and then projection. Okay, oh sorry. So it's a keyword argument. It's a keyword. It's a dict. Yeah, that's it. So then, so I'll say ax dot voxels method, and I'll say voxel array, comma, edge color is equals to k, and execute. And here is your plot. Brilliant. Wow, fantastic. Absolutely good, looking good. Yeah, that's how we make it. We make them. So Voxels plots. So let me make it simple. Yes, here is your Voxels plot. Let me zoom it. Yeah, yeah. This is what is your voxel plot. So what we're gonna do? Let me create a one more example. Let me do one more example. So here example 2 at the bottom. So let's set the figure size first for the second example. So Voxels example 2. So first let's set the figure size. So plot dot, obviously to set the figure size I'm going to use rc params of figure dot fig size is equals to, so 7.50 to 3.50. Okay, 50. So then we have plt, that's a dot, again rc params of, this time I'm gonna go for the figure layout, figure dot auto layout, auto layout is equals to true, is equals to true. Okay, so setting up of the figure size is done. Now let's take random data points between 0 and 1. So let's take random data points between 0 and 1. So data is equals to np dot random dot choice of let me take some sequence. The first argument is 0 to 1. That's where in between that I want, that's what my first argument. Then I'll go for the size. Size is equals to, so I'll give it tuple again. So 5 comma 7 comma 1 7, sorry, 7 comma 9, and p is equals to a list of 0.65 to 0.35. Okay, so that's what is our data. So if you want to see, let me say print data, and this is what is our data. As usual, if you want to know the properties of this array, you can use various methods of array from NumPy, and you can get the properties of this array. That's okay. So let's move ahead. So okay, let's create a new figure first. Let's create a new figure. So fig is equal to plt dot figure. Directly I'm using figure method here. So execute. So with 0 axis, it doesn't have any axis. The size is 750 times 350. You can see that 7.50 and 3.50. And here 750 and 350. It's a 700, 750 and 350. Okay. So let me add axis to this. That too in a 3D projection. So I need a 3 axis. So axis with 3D projection. It's time to add axis to our figure or plot. So because we have a figure with size 750 multiplied by 350 with 0 axis, so I'm going to add a three-dimensional axis to our plot. To do that, ax is equals to fig dot add subplot. I'm going to go with that, add subplot, then triple one and projection is equals to 3D, and this is your projection. So this is your three-dimensional plot. You can take x, y, and z. X, y, and z. Total, you got it, three-dimensional projection. So now I'm gonna plot the voxels here. So now let me plot the voxels. So x dot voxels, ax dot voxels data comma edge color. So data is the one which that's a variable, and its edge color I'm gonna go with the K, and face colors I'm gonna give green, and that's it. The X voxels is ready. Let me click. Oh, okay, it's a huge, so I have to show it. Oh, brilliant, awesome. So what I'm gonna do is the green color I gave a face. Okay, so face color I'll give it add, and simply I'm gonna say display the plot. Display the plot. So plt dot show up. Oh, absolutely stunning. So that's how we draw the voxels or 3D voxels or volumetric plots.